Hi, everyone. Welcome to Childcare Unplugged, hosted by me, Chantel Pettingill. I create this podcast to help parents with any questions they may have about parenting, daycare, and anything about child development. We also answer any questions that parents typically have about our childcare program specifically. So today I want to do things a little bit differently. A couple weeks ago, we did a recap of 2023 and we discussed that we were going through our strategic plan. And we finally finished our strategic plan, and I wanted to be able to share it with parents. So we're going to do that a little bit during this um, podcast for it. We are really excited to bring it. Every year we meet with our admin team and we come up with goals and things we want to accomplish each and every year. It's a living document, so things change, we adapt, we celebrate our wins. If something else comes up that we need to accomplish, we throw it on our strategic plan as well. This year we did a little differently. We met and then we created a spreadsheet for different areas, as well as Zach and I created an owner sheet with things that we need to complete as owners or want to see accomplished. And we met probably about 6 to 8 hours in January. And then plus the work we did on like private meetings. So in all, about 12 hours went into creating the strategic plan for the business. And it gives us a roadmap every year for the daycare and the schools and where we want to go, what we want to see, what do we want to change, what are some things we need to update, what are some things we want to work on with our teachers and with our families and things like that. So I'm going to show you the summary. Every year I make a summary book that we present to our staff and we also share with families. So instead of just sending it to my families this year, I wanted to be able to walk through the summary with you guys. So it's a little different from it. And we're excited to be able to finish it. Last week, Zach and I traveled for our mastermind, where I am now a coach for the Child Care Success Academy. So I get to work with other child care providers. And it was so cool because I got to present to my growth group about strategic planning, how to keep it simple, how to set goals. So I get to be able to help other childcare providers go through this process as well, which is so exciting for me. I also got to present about having a thorough crisis plan, and that one was really good too, because a lot of people, that we did it here in Maine, it will never happen to us. So it was kind of nice to be able to share unfortunately, our crisis and experience with it. And so hopefully we can help other daycare owners. Hopefully they never have to use it, but we can help them if they do have to use it. So let me share my screen real quick. Oh, let me go here. And then let me share my screen. Like right here. Share screen. Perfect. All right, so here's the summary of our strategic plan. So this year, our word of the year is sparkle because we decided it was our time to shine. Last year, we bloomed and it was a bumpy bloom. We had our ups and downs like everything, but I still think we bloomed in some way or another. But this year, we're going to sparkle. So does it mean to sparkle? So it's about making connections with family and staff. It's going above the minimum standards of childcare. It's providing excellent high quality service. It's helping our teachers and families grow. It's about that we work hard to keep our buildings sparkling with constant cleaning. Our schools encourage parent involvement through events and communication apps. We focus on a holistic development of a child, and our operation systems ensure care is high quality and consistent. So when we develop the plan, we kind of look at the past year. And 2023 was a great year for growth, and we really focused on blooming. We made changes to help us move the business forward. There were, like I said earlier, some bumps in the road, but there always is with growth and change. We were coming at, I hate using it, but we start 2023, we were really starting to get out of COVID, but still navigating a very different world for childcare. But making these changes and those bumps in the roads definitely helped us make the needed changes to make the business better. We welcome new people. We said goodbye to some other people. We wish them well in their journeys. And then we welcome a lot of great and amazing people into our program. This year, we broke our plan up a little differently to help us focus on areas we want to improve and grow on. We also took a different approach with creating the plan. And like I said, this time we spent about 12 hours creating this plan with our admin team. And we also invited some teachers in the different sections of the discussions as well. So we talk a little bit about that. And then we look at the areas of focus. We look at operations. So we look at like our systems, our processes, our financials, any trainings we need to add in. We look at our marketing. So in this part, we look at how and when we market the business. We come up with ideas for this podcast, for social media posts, for blogs, as well as promotions, looking at employer relationships. And one thing we're looking at, hopefully adding this year, is parent webinars as well. We're just trying to figure out all the logistics with that. Due to the I can't say the word, but due to the content being kind of like ours, we don't want to necessarily share it. So we left it out of the summary, just so that way we can keep it under wraps and make it be Pettingill Academy. We also look at families. So keeping families happy with our service and retention is one, if not the most important part of the business. So we are also focused in looking at ideas to keep families engaged and satisfied with our service of care. We look at our associates. This is the second important piece of the business. Actually, families and associates are kind of like hand in hand, because if I don't have associates, I can't have families. And if I don't have families, I can't have associates. So we really look at like staff retention, appreciation, along with accountability and training with this part. We focus on the growth of our admin team here as well. We look at classroom and curriculum. So our students spend the majority of the day in their classrooms. So we want to develop goals to help support our teachers in the classroom. As well, look at ways we can supplement the curriculum and have consistent like decorating plans within the schools, ensure the students are entering kindergarten ready. We are also looking at like our outdoor programs and planning. Enrichment programs, like I'm kind of really excited that in Lewiston, with Healthy Androscoggin, I was able to get a snowshoeing lesson for our preschool kids. So trying to add in things like that as well into our program. And then we look at the physical school. So the first person looks at when they enter school is the curb appeal. And so we're always taking a portion of the plan and setting goals to update to the physical school that we need and want to take, and trying to figure out how to do it and keep it within the budget. So some things that we're looking at operations, we're gonna update like our tour stops to help our administration be able to facilitate tours of our building. We're gonna look at our IntelliKids responses. We are completing our teacher operation website, so that way our teachers can just go on and know what to do. So we're recording videos, using QR codes, things like that as part of that operations website. We're going to look at updating our phone scripts. We're going to change, we were tweaking some part-time options last year to try to see if we can do things different. We're going to tweak them back because we found out that it isn't what our families need in the community. We're going to continue to build PAU, which is our training website. We created a LearnDash website for our teachers, so they do all their orientation on it. And so we're going to revamp the orientation and add to it and make it better. And then we're also going to be adding an admin portion and a teacher portion to it. We're going to look at our accountability plans, as well as looking at reviewing our associate handbook and our parent handbook, just to make sure things are still up to par in this, I'm going to say it, post-COVID world. We're going to look at maybe adding a school age program plan again, and then just complete our admin operation site. So everything is in one spot for my admins when they need it. So some of the stuff we're looking at with training plans, because we wanted, like I said, the teacher training part of PAU, the admin part of PAU. We're going to finish the orientation site. We made this really cool orientation book that my admins and new teachers use as we go through the orientation process, and walks them through, and it kind of has like a checklist. So we're going to be fixing the website to match the book that we created. So for families, we're going to be looking at family appreciation plans, looking at how can we celebrate family anniversaries with us, how to celebrate students' birthdays with us, welcoming new family plan, looking at updating our newsletter format a little bit. We're going to try to be planning a family appreciation event probably in the summer. We're going to look at quarterly parent surveys, as well as updating parent onboarding for new families coming into the program. How do we make sure they get all the information they need starting our program, so that way we all succeed? We are going to look at making sure the ProCare calendar is updated for families, as well as creating a yearly event plan. And then also just looking at like our forms and our processes for families as well. And then ideas for appreciation, we're still in the process of planning it, so we don't want to give away any secrets yet. Associates, a lot of the same things that we're working on with families, but we're looking at like a uniform plan or name tags. We're looking at how to celebrate their birthdays and show appreciation to them. We're working on the orientation plan. How do we help them feel welcomed on their first day, as well as training plans for teachers? We're looking at bi-monthly staff surveys and ways to celebrate their anniversary with us. Creating the training website is a big one too, and also for our admin. So we're looking at some of the ways to help them as well with retention and celebrating them. So with our classroom and curriculum, we're working on plans to support our teachers. So maybe like additional training with Learning Beyond Paper, trainings on how to set up centers, visuals to help them use the curriculum. Bringing back in COVID, it kind of went off the way, and we've been trying to make sure we're training and things like that, but really start focusing on classroom observations and teachers meetings. We currently do teacher one-on-ones with our admin team, where they meet with the teachers once a month or so and just talk, make sure they're okay, check in, come up with some plans to grow, but we're going to be doing it more like within the classrooms as well. We're going to look at supplement and enrichment, like looking at maybe like bringing back letter shape and number of the week focus. There's a lot of that in IntelliKids, but we want to be able to supplement that material. Add in more handwriting, which we've been doing a little bit more, but come up with a better plan, because that's the one thing I love Learning Beyond Paper, and they do a lot of different ways to work on handwriting. But sometimes the traditional ways work too. So we're going to be looking at that this year. We're also going to be doing milestone building and life skills development, as well as bringing in outside lessons, having more yoga and mindful lessons, some sign language, and hopefully some cooking as well. We're going to be creating a standard for classroom setup. So different things on like, how are they decorated? What are the themes in the classrooms? Things like that. So that way, one, it helps with consistency, and two, it takes a little bit of pressure off the teachers. And then kind of looking at our physical school, some things like one thing we're trying to do is go back to our eco healthiness. So last year I redid the certification. We went back to our eco-based cleaners. We're allowing cloth diapers and glass bottles and those things, but we want to add more green into the classroom. I'll be the first one to admit though, I can't keep plants alive. I am great with children, but when it comes to plants, I can't do it. So we're looking at ways that we're trying to bring in live plants, but we know sometimes that's not realistic. So how can we bring in greenery and the outdoors and the nature into the classrooms? We want to add a green wall in Lewiston like we did in Brunswick, and we just got to finish up the green wall in Brunswick a little bit. We have some painting we got to do at both locations. As well, we want to add gardens, and we're looking at things that we can add to the playground as well that will last and be beneficial, but also have that eco greenness to it. So those are some things we're looking at doing. And then event planning. We are really diving in deep with event planning this year. So we are looking at theme days and weeks, things that we can like plan the curriculum around. Like Zach's really looking forward to in May doing Star Wars Day. And he told him he can plan it out, but Miss Maya in Brunswick is, I guess, a Star Wars geek too. So we'll get on that one. But looking at like our themes, like we always do Dr. Seuss week, so we'll continue with that, but looking at other ways we can, oh, that happened. Oh no. Looking at ways we can do that. Oh, this technology. Won't let me go back. I apologize for this. And then so we're looking at maybe having like 2 days a month, and sometimes it'll be dress up, sometimes it'll just be a theme day. We're looking at more family events. How can we integrate family, open houses, art shows? We're in the very beginning planning process of this, but keep a lookout for 2024 of these things happening. And then also our holidays, like looking at things we can do for our holidays as well. So we're really excited for what 2024 brings us, and coming back to some of the stuff we did pre-COVID and then adding new things. There's a lot of good energy in our building. Our admin team is amazing. Sammy and Maya, we are so lucky to have them. And then having Autumn and Emily as well as part of the team is so great. And they're so motivated. So we're really excited for the things that will be happening this year on it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. The other thing I want to kind of bring back with marketing is the podcast. We'll continue to do this. From the last parent surveys that came out, we had some great ideas. One was potty training. So our last podcast was about potty training. But there was a lot of different ideas. So I'm going to be integrating those in the next couple weeks. And then if you have any other ideas too that you want to learn about, I love learning and researching and finding new ideas. Even though my babies are bigger now, I still like knowing what's coming up, what the new research saying, because I want to be able to help you guys as parents, and my staff as well. So just let me know, shoot me a message if you have anything you would love for me to cover during these for it. I hope everyone has an amazing night, and we'll see everyone next time. Bye, guys.